Ladies and gentlemen, let's get one thing straight right now. Compliments are not about flattery. Compliments are about impact. You see, any man can say you're beautiful. That's easy. That's basic. That's background noise. But a real man, a high-value man understands this. What you say to a woman is not about filling space. It's about igniting something in her soul. So today, I'm not just giving you compliments. I'm giving you forbidden compliments. I'm giving you forbidden compliments. Now, this isn't just an observation of her body language or the way she carries herself. This is a compliment that taps into something far deeper. It goes beyond the physical. It speaks to the richness of her experiences, the layers of her personality, and the depth of her journey. When you say something like this, you're acknowledging that she's not just another face in the crowd. You're telling her that there's a history within her, a unique story that unfolds every time she moves, speaks, or interacts. You're noticing the weight of her experiences, the wisdom in her eyes, the confidence in her steps, the mystery she holds. This compliment works because it goes beyond what's visible on the surface. It doesn't talk about her hair, her smile, or her figure. It speaks directly to her essence, to the feeling she exudes. Women don't hear this kind of compliment every day, and that's what makes it unforgettable. It's a compliment that invites her to remember herself in a different light, to recognize the power she holds just in the way she moves through the world. It's also an emotional trigger. It taps into her desire to be seen for who she really is, not just for what she looks like or how she's perceived by others. When you say, "You move like someone who's already lived 1,000 lives," you're not just complimenting her presence, but you're also inviting her to think about the journey she's been on. How many lessons has she learned? How many times has she fallen and gotten back up? Back up. How much strength and resilience has shaped the woman standing in front of you? In essence, you're letting her know that you see the depth in her that others might miss. The quiet wisdom, the beauty of her experiences, and the way she's embraced her own evolution. And here's the kicker. This compliment isn't just flattery, it's recognition. It's a validation of her entire being. It lets her know that you're paying attention to the things that truly matter, the things that define her beyond the surface. It's a reminder to her that she's not just a fleeting moment. She's a powerful force, a force shaped by time and experience, and you see all of it. That's the kind of compliment that stays with a woman, the kind that makes her think about you long after the conversation ends. This compliment is a playful yet profound acknowledgement of something deeper. It recognizes the wild, untamed side of a woman that many men are often hesitant to embrace. It's a compliment that doesn't shy away from her flaws, her spontaneity, or the emotional storms she might carry with her. Instead of trying to tame her, you're admiring the very energy that makes her unique. You're not intimidated by her unpredictability. In fact, you're drawn to it. You see it as something that doesn't just make her special but powerful. The idea of a chaos is often perceived negatively, something messy, uncontrollable, or even dangerous. But when you use this compliment, you're recontextualizing chaos in a way that feels empowering. You're not suggesting she's reckless or out of control, but rather that her energy is alive, raw, and vibrant. You're telling her that this energy has an effect on the world around her. It doesn't just exist, it influences. It stirs things up. It wakes people up. That's a kind of power not every woman is able to wield, and it's something that deserves recognition. You're acknowledging that her intensity, her unpredictability, and her deep emotions have value. You're telling her that you see the fire within her, and that you admire it, not because it's something to be feared, but because it's something to be respected. What makes this compliment a forbidden is the way it subtly challenges the traditional, idealized view of women as calm, composed, and always graceful. It flips the script, encouraging her to embrace the wildness that exists within her. It also has a sense of mystery to it. Chaos can be exciting, but it's also intriguing. There's something magnetic about it because it makes people wonder what's beneath the surface. This kind of compliment invites her to share more of herself, to reveal the parts of her that are often hidden or less understood. By saying this, you're not just complimenting her in the conventional sense. You're acknowledging that she is not one-dimensional. She has layers, complexity, and depth. It makes her feel seen for the real person she is, the person who isn't afraid to embrace all aspects of her nature, even the ones society might label as chaotic. This isn't about making her feel perfect. It's about making her feel alive, and when you make a woman feel like she's alive, truly alive, you awaken something inside her that's hard to ignore. This compliment is powerful because it taps directly into a woman's intellect and individuality in a way that few compliments do. It's not simply about acknowledging her intelligence in the conventional sense. It's about recognizing the unique, often unspoken way in which her mind processes the world around her, the depth of her thinking, and the way she can see things from perspectives that others might miss. When you say this, you're not just complimenting her ability to solve problems or the sharpness of her thoughts. You're acknowledging that there's something almost mysterious about the way she thinks. It's intriguing. It's captivating. And in saying it's almost intimidating, you're giving her an insight into the effect her mind has on those around her. You're letting her know that her intelligence isn't just valuable, it's powerful. It makes people stop and think, and that can be a bit overwhelming in the best possible way. By using the word almost, you're adding a playful, flirtatious element to the compliment. You're not saying you're intimidated by her, that's too passive and gives away too much power. Instead, you're saying that there's a quality to her mind that's so impressive, so unique, that it challenges you to rise to her level. This slight vulnerability, suggesting that her intellect might make you think twice, can be incredibly seductive because it's honest. It shows that you're not afraid to admit that she's operating on a higher level, and you find that both attractive and exciting. This kind of compliment also implies that you're not interested in her simply for her looks, or her superficial qualities, Instead, you see the value in her thought process, in the way she engages with the world. You're letting her know that you're paying attention to her on a much deeper level. It's not about the surface beauty, it's about how she engages with life, how she views the world, how she analyzes and creates and reimagines. You're seeing her intellect as one of her most powerful traits, and you're expressing that admiration with respect. Ha! What makes this compliment particularly impactful is that it creates an immediate sense of connection. You're complimenting her in a way that suggests mutual respect. It's a recognition of her value that goes beyond the traditional, superficial compliments she might receive. It tells her that you see her for who she really is, and that her mind is as captivating as her appearance, if not more so. This is the kind of compliment that makes her feel seen and understood in a way that few others do. It says, "I see the real you," and that's what makes it irresistible. This compliment is not just about pointing out something unique in her, but about making her feel exclusive and exceptional. It speaks to her individuality, the one thing that sets her apart from everyone else in the room. This kind of compliment is incredibly powerful because it acknowledges that she is not just another face in the crowd, not just another person who blends into the background. You're telling her, in no uncertain terms, that she stands out in a way that is magnetic, captivating, and unlike anything you've ever encountered. By emphasizing her uniqueness, you elevate her in your eyes, and in a way, you give her the opportunity to see herself through your perspective. A perspective that recognizes the value and rarity of who she is. What makes this compliment so effective is that it taps into a deep human desire to be seen and understood. Everyone wants to feel like they are truly known for who they are, beyond just superficial characteristics. When you tell a woman that you've never met anyone like her, you're validating everything that makes her, her. You're showing her that you've noticed the qualities that others may overlook, the quirks, the nuances, the little things that form the fabric of her personality. It's not just a comment on her appearance or her demeanor, it's a celebration of her essence. You're acknowledging that she's not just one of many. She is a rare and precious individual who deserves recognition for being different in a way that's meaningful. This compliment also taps into a woman's desire to feel special, not just in a romantic context, but in a broader sense. When someone recognizes her difference, She feels like she has something that is inherently valuable and irreplaceable. Fuego and irreplaceable. It gives her a sense of worth and importance that goes beyond mere flattery. You're not simply saying, "You're beautiful" or "You're interesting." You're making a deeper statement. You are one of a kind. And that carries weight. In addition, this compliment sparks curiosity and intrigue. It implies that there's more to discover about her, that you are open to exploring all the layers of who she is. It makes her feel like she's a mystery worth unraveling, a person who can never be fully understood because her depth and individuality are infinite. Fui. This type of compliment also shows that you're not just interested in a surface-level connection. You're interested in knowing her, truly and completely, in a way that few others might. That kind of connection is powerful, and it's something that sticks with a woman, long after the moment has passed. His compliment is profound because it acknowledges the effect she has on the environment around her, without simply focusing on her looks or behavior. It's about the way she makes people feel when she enters a room, that subtle, almost intangible energy she brings that transforms the space in a way that others can't. You're recognizing that her very being carries a sense of calm and serenity, something that goes beyond the ordinary. Fair. This isn't the typical compliment about being a charming or a graceful. It's about how her presence impacts you and others on a deeper emotional level. You're telling her that she has an influence that no one else does, one that creates a kind of peace and stillness in the chaos of daily life. Life. This compliment works because it's incredibly specific and personal. It's not just another empty phrase thrown out in the hopes of making her smile. You're taking the time to acknowledge something very real about the way she carries herself. It's also incredibly intimate because it's something that most people don't often notice or verbalize. Many people might feel the peaceful energy someone brings but never articulate it. By pointing it out, you're drawing attention to a rare quality that makes her feel seen, not just for her external traits, but for her internal essence. She's not just another person in the room, she's the one who brings tranquility to it. What makes this compliment particularly powerful is that it taps into something women often crave, the desire to make a meaningful impact. Every woman wants to be remembered for something deeper than her appearance or her social role. When you tell her that her presence brings peace, you're showing her that she has the ability to influence the emotional tone of a situation. She's not just occupying space, she's changing the atmosphere in ways that others can't. That's not something most people get to hear, and it's something that resonates with her on a level that makes her feel truly special. Moreover, this compliment speaks to a kind of quiet strength. The quiet strength. It implies that her impact isn't loud or forceful, it's subtle, but it's undeniably powerful. It suggests that there's an energy about her that calms and centers people, and that's a rare and beautiful gift. This kind of compliment makes her feel valued for the calm she brings, for the way she centers the world around her without ever needing to try too hard. It's a reminder that her worth isn't just about the obvious or the outwardly impressive qualities. It's about the depth and peace she radiates from within. That's what makes this compliment unforgettable. This compliment is not just an observation of her personality. It's a recognition of the impact she has on the world around her. It acknowledges the way she stands out in a crowd, not by being loud or overly expressive, but by simply being herself. It's the kind of compliment that speaks to her unique energy, her ability to bring something extraordinary to the everyday, to turn a dull or mundane moment into something that feels special simply by her presence. You're recognizing that she has a gift, the ability to make the ordinary world feel extraordinary, and that's a power not everyone possesses. It's the quiet magic she carries with her, the way she influences her surroundings without even trying. When you say this, you're telling her that she is not just another person moving through life. She's someone who shifts the atmosphere around her, who makes others stop and pay attention, and who leaves a lasting impression. This compliment works because it's both subtle and deep. It doesn't flatter her based on physical appearance or superficial traits. Instead, it speaks to something much more meaningful. The way her presence creates a ripple effect in the world. It tells her that there's something about her that feels different in the best possible way. Something that makes people feel more alive, more aware, or more engaged simply by being around her. The idea that she makes the world feel a little less ordinary implies that she carries something special, something that cannot be replicated, and that the world is somehow better because she's in it. When you say this, you're also affirming that her uniqueness is appreciated. Many women spend a lifetime trying to fit into certain molds or meet societal expectations, but when you give a compliment like this, you're showing her that being different is not just acceptable, it's desirable. It's desirable. You're telling her that it's her distinctive qualities, the things that make her stand out, that make her truly valuable. Her individuality, her way of moving through the world, her thoughts and her presence. These are the things that make life feel more meaningful, more colorful, and less predictable. This kind of compliment also goes beyond the moment. It stays with her. It reminds her that she doesn't need to change to make an impact. She doesn't need to try to be something she's not. Just by being herself, she makes life a little more interesting. And that's the kind of acknowledgement that speaks to her soul. It's not just a compliment about her looks or her behavior. It's about recognizing the unique energy she brings to the world, and that's what makes it so powerful. In conclusion, the forbidden compliments that make women feel deeply appreciated and admired are not simply about flattering their appearances or offering empty words meant to please. Rather, they tap into a much deeper understanding of a woman's individuality, her unique qualities, and the impact she has on the world around her. These compliments reveal that true admiration comes not from superficial praise, but from recognizing the essence of a woman's character and the power of her presence. It's about seeing her for who she truly is, beyond the surface, beyond the expectations, and beyond the roles that society often tries to impose upon her. It's about understanding and acknowledging the qualities that make her irreplaceable, and sharing that recognition in a way that resonates deeply with her. When you compliment a woman in a way that highlights her uniqueness, her mind, or the effect she has on the world, it goes far beyond the typical praise. For example, telling her that her mind is intimidating, but in a good way, communicates a respect for her intellect, for the depth of her thinking, and the way her ideas challenge and inspire those around her. It's a compliment that acknowledges the sharpness and creativity that many people may overlook or take for granted. Similarly, recognizing her chaos, but in the sense that it is a beautiful and powerful energy, shows an appreciation for the rawness and authenticity she brings to the world. It suggests that her presence is not only accepted but admired, and that her complexity is seen as a source of strength, not something to be tamed or feared. The compliment that speaks to the effect she has on the world, that she makes the ordinary feel extraordinary, is particularly powerful because it acknowledges the quiet yet profound way in which she impacts those around her. Her presence alone shifts the energy in a room, making people feel more alive and aware. This compliment not only speaks to her uniqueness, but it also affirms that her individuality is something to be valued and celebrated. It's a reminder that her influence is not dependent on grand gestures or loud proclamations, but on the subtle ways in which she brings her energy, her spirit, and her essence into every space she enters. Equally impactful is the compliment that recognizes a woman as someone who is irreplaceable, someone who stands apart from everyone else. It is an acknowledgement that she is not just another face in the crowd. It tells her that her qualities, whether they are her intelligence, her charisma, or her energy, are rare and precious. By highlighting her difference from others, you are not just praising her for what she does, but for who she is at her core. This kind of compliment elevates her from the realm of ordinary to something extraordinary, making her feel valued not just for her actions, but for her being. The power of these forbidden compliments lies in their authenticity and depth. They convey a message that goes beyond mere flattery. They reflect a true understanding and appreciation of the woman as a whole. They show that you're not just looking at her from the outside. but you're recognizing the complexity, the depth, and the unique qualities that make her who she is. Fuck her who she is. By offering such compliments, you're also encouraging her to embrace her full self, to be proud of the aspects that make her stand out, whether that's her intellect, her emotional depth, or the way she changes the atmosphere around her. These compliments celebrate the parts of her that are often overlooked or undervalued in a society that tends to place emphasis on more superficial traits. When a woman hears these kinds of compliments, it can be incredibly empowering. And they let her know that she is seen, that she is not just a reflection of societal standards or expectations, but a whole person with a vast, intricate inner world. She is not just valued for what she can do or how she can please others, but for who she is, in all her complexity. These compliments can make her feel more confident in embracing her unique traits, knowing that they are appreciated by someone who truly sees her. Sir. Moreover, these compliments help build deeper, more meaningful connections. They go beyond surface-level attraction or pleasantries and open the door for real, authentic interaction. When a woman feels genuinely admired for her mind, her individuality, or the way she carries herself, it creates a sense of mutual respect and trust. It shows her that she is valued for more than just being an object of desire, but for being a fully realized person with her own complexities, strengths, and flaws. In a world that often encourages conformity and shallow interactions, these kinds of compliments can be a breath of fresh air. They invite women to step into their full power, and to embrace the parts of themselves that make them unique. When given sincerely, they can leave a lasting impact, reminding her that she is not just ordinary, but someone whose presence can transform the ordinary into something extraordinary. These compliments speak to the heart of who she is, and that's why they resonate so deeply, leaving her feeling not only flattered but truly seen.